Hey guys, what's going on? PrideOfLDN here. You guys know what to do. As always, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's get into today's video. So we are reviewing Brighton versus Chelsea, the pre-season friendly that took place today, and full-time 1-1. 2 penalties to Brighton in the game, which was a bit ridiculous. Hard to tell whether they were penalties. I think the second one was, but the first one, because it was only one camera angle, you literally just can't tell that they didn't catch it on camera, basically. The Rudiger one, shortly after coming on for the second half. Caballero saves the first one, second one goes the right way and gets very close, but it was buried so fast and precisely into the bottom corner that he's never going to save that. So, all in all, you know, pre-season games, do they matter? Like, I see this 1-1 in a Premier League fixture that'll be happening in a couple of weeks, and I'd be very annoyed. I'd be really annoyed at how we played, to be honest, because a lot of the game we started off decently, you know, got the early goal. Hakim Ziyech's cross in was fantastic. Callum's squiff header definitely didn't mean to header it to Timo, but it falls to Timo, and just like any good striker does, he buries it. I think nutmegged the keeper as well. So a very nice goal from, you know, seeing Hakim Ziyech whipping it in, just like I'm sure we'll see plenty of this season, to Callum, and then into Timo Werner, putting it in the back of the net, who I'm hoping we will also see scoring a lot of goals this season. So all in all, that was good, but other than that, I don't really remember many chances we had in the game. It was a poor attacking performance. It was a poor possession-based performance as well. Realistically, we didn't control the game, especially from the second half onwards. Brighton were just all over us, realistically, and didn't really create any chances. Like, there was maybe one or two set pieces that they whipped in. I think one clipped the bar, and they had a couple decent chances, but nothing outstanding, and, you know, made me think they deserved to win the game. They just sort of had a lot of the ball and were moving it around, but didn't really do anything much. Of course, our starting lineup wasn't the strongest. We can take a look at it over here. If we go to Chelsea's Twitter, we had Kepa in goal, Reece James, James Clark, Salter, Christensen, Alonso, Kante, Kovacic, Ruben, Ziyech, Werner, Hudson-Odoi. So it wasn't our strongest lineup by any means. Of course, this season we'll probably be seeing Ben Chilwell in. Of course, he's injured at the moment. Thiago Silva would be in there. Kurt Zuma would probably be in there. Kante probably playing, then Mason Mount and Kai Havertz possibly, not officially done yet, but Kai Havertz would probably be in there. Ziyech and Werner definitely be starting, and then maybe Pulisic or Callum Hudson-Odoi. So the attack was decent. If I was going to rate the players from our starting lineup, I would say Kepa didn't really have to do much, so yeah, okay. Reece James had a okay game, nothing amazing. Clark Salter did okay. Christensen, okay again. Alonso had a few decent chances, crossing could have been better. Kante, a few good defensive moments, but nothing outstanding. Kovacic had a pretty few nice runs, actually, you know, his typical thing where he's facing our goal and a few, like 2 or 3 players press him and he just swings around 1 or 2 of them, quick feet away, and just drives up the pitch. Very nice there. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I would say, had a poor game still. Like, we haven't had that much of a break since the season actually stopped, so you can't really expect that many changes, but he still just looks very uncomfortable on the ball, not confident. He seems to just sort of try and go forward. He'll take the first like couple steps and then he'll get tackled. Like, his touch isn't, you know, as good as it should be, or there's just always something that's not quite clicking there, which is a shame, because we've all seen how good Ruben can be in his, you know, glimpses last season, or season before, I guess, technically, and it's a very big shame to see what we're seeing of him, but I'm confident he'll still be able to come back and be the player that we all know he can be, and that he was, you know, under like Sarri and stuff. So yeah, that was quite sad to see Ruben still just not quite there. Hakim Ziyech, I would say, had a quiet game. The cross in was beautiful, a few nice moments, and went off injured, which is, I hope, you know, this is just after the game I'm recording this, so I don't know what the situation is. I'm hoping he's okay, because that really sucks that we've just signed him and he's got injured in a pre-season game against Brighton. That really does suck, so I really hope he's okay. And Timo Werner did good with the chance he had. Like, it was pretty much the only chance I can remember him having, maybe 1 or 2 others. Other than that, didn't really do much. He was dropping deep to get the ball a few times, but for the striker, did what he had to do. Hudson-Odoi I mean, the assist was very lucky, very fluke. He did not mean to header it to him, but he did do it either way, so we'll give him the assist. Other than that, not too much done. A few nice runs, but, you know, like Chelsea versus Brighton, you'd expect us to create a lot more chances than we actually did. It was quite a poor performance. So I'd say that was weak. Of the youngsters that came on, I'd say probably the outstanding one was Conor Gallagher. His press was insane. It's what we see a lot from Mason Mount. And of course, we know that Conor Gallagher did really well in the Championship last season on loan. So if I was to say of any of the youngsters that started or got into the game today, Clark-Salter did alright, nothing major. He was the only one that really started. And then, yeah, Conor Gallagher stood out for me. Had a really good performance. We saw Lewis Baker, Ian Matson. We saw a bunch of players come on towards the end. None really outstanding, and that's what you expect from preseason. This is time for some youngsters to get their time and try and prove themselves. Of course, Ethan Ampadu came on and ended up giving away a penalty, the second penalty of the game for Brighton, which was poor. So I think he's not making if he's going to get more time in pre-season, he needs to make up for that and prove to Frank if he wants to be in this squad for this upcoming season, then he really has to be better than that, because he pretty much did nothing and then gave away a penalty, which was poor. But of course, like I said, it is a pre-season, it's the first game back. You can kind of expect some players to be a little rusty, so I'm not bothered by the result. I think any preseason result doesn't really matter. Ideally, sure, we would have beaten them 6-7-0 and had a fantastic game, Timo Werner hat-trick. That would have been lovely. But I think when it comes to the actual Premier League game, we're going to see a very different side from the midfield to the defence. Will probably be quite different, and we're just going to see a better performance overall. This is just about getting players fit, getting them match sharp. Some players like Timo Werner, Hakim Ziyech, sort of trying to understand the system and how we play, and I'm sure that we'll see much better performances when it comes to the actual games. So yeah, as I said, don't worry. I'm sure there'll be a bit of outrage on Twitter and all that sort of stuff on football Twitter, as there always is, very reactionary on the result and how poor it is and how we've drawn to Brighton and how awful is it. But personally, I'm not that bothered. I look forward for the next pre-season fixture, and hopefully we get a better result. I mean, it'd be nice, but again, like I said, this is about building fitness, getting players used to the system, and it doesn't matter that much that we drew 1-1 with Brighton. Let me know what you guys think or thought of this game down in the comment section down below. I'm curious to see if people actually are really annoyed at this and I don't know, want to see some big changes made. Think of all the signings that we're going to be bringing in, like Ben Chilwell's going to be probably not starting this season, but the majority of the season he'll be playing. Thiago Silva will be in that back line. Kai Havertz will be in there, Mason Mount. We've got so many players that didn't actually feature in this game that are kind of key to us. Tammy Abraham, we got a lot of players that weren't available for this game, and when you kind of completely change the game with your substitutions and all that so that you can get youngsters minutes, it does disrupt the flow of the game. So don't worry too much about it, guys. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, let me know what you think. I'll catch you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.